Hey guys, Willie Mayette from No Bull Piano, and if you don't know who I am, I've taught thousands of students music around the globe over the past 30 years. I've written dozens of books on music, recorded and toured, even playing at the famed South by Southwest Festival. Now, I've created this whole series of videos of how the circle of fifths is bull. Today, I'm going to share with you the Willie, you're a stupid video. Now, in this series of BS videos for the circle of fifths, you might think that I was like insulting somebody's mother or sister with these videos, especially with the comments that I've gotten. Yes, that's the silliest, goofiest picture that I found of myself, all right? So you can have a laugh at that as well. So one such comment, this is the most confusing video I've ever seen on YouTube. And I say to that, really? Because boy, I see a lot of confusing stuff on YouTube and wonder why people do what they do. But anyway, let's get back to the comment. So, dangerous statement as a heading to put on an instructional video. If you don't understand the circle of fifths, you don't understand Western music. Bullshit! All right? Complete crap. This is how I see my role as a teacher. I want to show you the easiest way forward for you to be able to express yourself at the instrument. My goal is to create art and beauty and put art and beauty into the world one student at a time through music. So I want to show you how to take what's inside and then get it out on your instrument.
Hey, sorry for interrupting the video, but I got some really cool exercises at the end of this lesson to share with you, so be sure to stay until the end and check out the description for links to my other videos. All right, back to the video.
And what I've found in my 30+ years of teaching is that students put way too much emphasis on the wrong triggers. They think that by understanding this lever over here, like, you know, another one is modes. That'll be a whole nother video. But, you know, like if I just understood this, I would be able to play music. Nope, it's not how it works, okay? So let's continue on. So if we take a look, this is a Google Trends chart right here. This shows like search traffic on Google. You see that circle of fifths far outweighs diatonic chords and dominant motion. Diatonic chords and dominant motion are much more important concepts to learn than the circle of fifths. Again, I'm not saying that the circle of fifths is not a great tool. What I'm talking about and who I'm talking to is those students and those players that are asking themselves, why have I not gotten further ahead on my piano playing? Why am I still kind of like playing the same old stuff and it's like I'm not further ahead? Because you're likely not practicing the right stuff. You're likely not practicing in the right order. That's what we gotta fix. We gotta fix making sure that you're practicing the right stuff. And that means that we need to strip away some other stuff. And the circle of fifths is one of those things that we can strip away. This is from another piano instructional site. It says, circle of fifths is a mystery to many, but what if you found everything? Okay? Now, I didn't change any of this language, right? This is right from their site. What if you found everything you ever needed to know and learn about musical pitch, every note, scale, chord progression, etc., in a simple diagram that could fit into the palm of your hand? The circle of fifths is that magical musical master tool. And I'm here to tell you that that's dangerous. Statements like that are dangerous. Now, I'm not going to say what site this is from, and I don't begrudge them for putting that up there. They're trying to share their information, and you know what? I'm sure that they have a lot of great information. I think that there's better things for you to learn than the circle of fifths. The circle of fifths is a great tool, but a musician it does not make. Now, if you say to me, hey, look, Willie, I want to go to music college, you know, I want to teach, you know, I want to like music is going to be my life, you know, I want to be able to compose and all this. Okay, well then, yeah, sure. Then learn the circle of fifths. If you got hours a day to practice, then learn the circle of fifths. But who I'm talking to is those adults that, guess what? They don't have a lot of time. Sometimes it's tough for them to find 5 minutes to practice. And they're not interested in touring and making albums and recording and writing books and going to music college. They just want to sit down and be able to play something that sounds halfway decent to their ears. All right? So for those of you, if that speaks to you, then yeah, then you're with me. Circle of fifths is bullshit. we could put it to one side for right now. You want to learn it later? Great, learn it later. But right now, there's better things that we can do. Knowing and owning your major scale has a greater impact on your playing than learning the circle of fifths. So now let me play a little bit and explain to you what I mean by that. If I know my major scale, let's say I have my F major scale, now I could sit down and I can improvise just within that scale. That is a far better skill to be able to have than knowing, oh, every one of my key signatures and circle of fifths and all that. So like, let's say I sit down and I'm just going to play. Okay? Now, you may like that sound, you might not like the sound, you might like the progression, not like the progression. The point is, I made music, right? I made sound. Now, let me give you a different take on it. Motion wants to take me back to that one chord. So I can always go back to that dominant seventh chord and it'll take me back to that one chord. It's the most powerful motion that we have in Western music. Yeah, great, awesome. I just gave a dissertation on the benefits of the circle of fifths. And isn't it great that I knew that? But now, what if we put that into practical application? What if we actually know how to... What if we actually know how to play it? Now, me personally, I want you to be able to play it. I want to be able to play it. That to me speaks more than all of the language about, you know, like how great it is and why it's important and stuff like that, and how it is the secret or the musical mastery tool. It is not the musical mastery tool. Because guess what? There are many musicians, many players that know the circle of fifths, and they can't play a note of improvisation, right? They know how to read music up and down the page, but they can't sit down. If I say, hey, just play something, improvise on the F major scale. Now just come up with something on the F major scale. Can't do it at all. And that's because, number one, a lot of times players don't really own their scale. They think that they know their scale, but they really don't own it. I mean, like really know the notes of the scale. But then the second thing is that a lot of times they don't know rhythmically, groove-wise, progression-wise, what to do. The good news is, on Thursday, I'm going to release another video in my Circle of Fifths is Bullsh series, and it's going to be about diatonic chords. Again, super important stuff. You're going to get the naysayers out there to say, Willie, you're a ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba, all right? Yep, sure, fine, I can take it. That is super important, so you don't want to miss that, okay? So if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, make sure you subscribe. This stuff is free, all right? And if you want, you can also go back to nobullpiano.com and download my free Piano Essentials sheet, okay? You get the key of C absolutely free. This sheet is jam-packed with information on here, okay? Especially like that box down in the bottom right, that 3-6-2-5-1 progression. Awesome progression, real cool sound. You learn all of those chords, you learn all the tensions, natural minor, all of your triads, seventh chords that you need to know. It's a great sheet, absolutely free of charge. Just go back to No Bull Piano and you can get that. Now, I'm going to leave you with one exercise as well that I'd like you to try working on. Start in the key of C. Okay? Now this is not an easy exercise. It's going to seem easy at first. You're going to start on the note C in the left hand, and you're going to come back and eventually end on the note C as well. All right? So in the right hand, you're going to just play whatever notes from the C major scale you want to. If the C major scale is too much, then start with the C five-finger scale. I'll do both for you. So I start with the five-finger scale. So you see how I'm just kind of messing around with the five notes here, any order, just kind of like staying within that five finger. And down here I can, you know, play whatever notes I want, and then when I'm ready to end, I end on the C over here. In the right hand, it's best if you end on the C as well, or the E or the G, which is just notes of that C major triad, okay? So what I want you to also try doing is see if you can hit the G before you go back to the C. See what that sounds like. And then all I want you to do is in the left hand, you can play whatever notes you want from that C major scale, okay? Any of those notes in any order. But this time you're going to start on C, and before you go back to the C chord, you're going to hit a G. Still just single note in the left hand. Any rhythm you want. If you want to like, you can do that. Go to the G, right? And then I'm going to end on the C again. And remember, in the right hand, I'm going to end on the C, the E, or the G, just notes from that C major triad. Let me do it again for you. So you see, I went to the G, and then I went to the C. So let's talk about what we just did there. That's my 1 and 5 chord. Okay, pulling again from that circle of fifths, right? We could use that circle of fifths to talk about the theory of what's going on, right? So that was the C chord, and then I went to the right on the circle of fifths. I went clockwise in the circle of fifths, and I went to the G. The G led me back to the C. So this is more powerful, in my opinion, actually doing it. So now in the right hand, rather than just doing the 5-finger scale, let's do the entire C major scale. And in the left hand, I'm going to do octaves down here. So. Now, let me show you another cool trick. I could just walk right on down in the left hand, right? And I play something like way up here, right? And I play it nice and slow and kind of dripping with drama and heartfelt. Ooh, let me get the right note now. See, I ended on the G, right? And I went back to the C, because that G will take me right back to the C. I don't always have to go back to the G, but just for right now, it's just kind of a cool thing to know, right? So you see how, isn't that cool? Isn't that great how I could create music? But guess what? You're not going to be able to create it if you don't know the major scale. If you don't know how to play that major scale and know the notes of the major scale and actually know how to move up and down the scale, like have the technique to do it. This is why the circle of fifths is bullshit. I'd rather you learn your scales first. Understand that. Know how to play it. Know how to make music. Know how to move your fingers, right? Know how to express yourself. Then we can always go back later and learn the theory. Here's today's video. So I hope you got some value out of it. Go ahead, leave your comments. I'd love to hear what it is you think. Subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to go back to No Bowl Piano and get that Piano Essentials sheet. And you can also get my color circle of fifths chart as well. And you could utilize that in your playing. All right, so thanks guys. I'll see you in Thursday's video.